Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Remy. On my channel I discuss on faith and lifestyle and development, so if you like any of those things, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So for this video I'm going to be sharing a story of how I almost failed my first year of law school. Literally almost. And I'm going to be sharing some of the lessons that I learned from that period of my life, and encourage anyone who's going through a similar situation, or just another phase in life where you feel like you failed something or you're about to fail something. So yeah, if you're interested, please keep watching. So I'm going to talk about my first year of law school, which was 2013 to 2014. So August 2013 to May 2014 was my first year of law school. I was in 1L at the time. So law school, it's 1L, 2L, or 3L. So I was a 1L at the time, and I literally almost failed that year. And I'm going to be talking about how that, what I mean by that, what my experience was, and I hope you can gain a thing or two from this video. So let's dive right into it. So one thing I realized when I started law school was that it's very different. Law school was a very different culture from anything I've known or I had known at that time before I got into law school. It was different from college for sure, different from obviously high school or any type of schooling I've ever done. And that was one of the challenges because everything was different. The language was different. So for example, I speak Yoruba because I'm from Nigeria. For someone else who doesn't speak Yoruba, Yoruba is difficult. But to me, it's not difficult. So learning a new language is difficult. It doesn't necessarily mean that the language itself is difficult. But anyway, at that time, the language in law school was different. The culture was different. The testing was different. The teaching, the method that professors used to teach was different as well. So it was just very different. If you're reading a case book at that time, you probably have to have like a dictionary next to you to check something or to Google something because, the words are just different and things like that. So there was a lot of challenges when it just, came to the culture of law school and the way things were done in law school. Right. And for some people, some people aced their first year of law school. That was not me. So that was one of the challenges. 2L, my second year of law school, was a breeze. Third year of law school, I nailed it. But that first year was a struggle. And they typically joke in law school, like, they'll say 1L, they scare you to death. 2L, they work you to death. 3L, they bore you to death because 2L, you're very busy, you've gotten the hang of law school, you get this, and you're just like ready to go, but you're busy, you have a lot of work to do. 3L, you're busy, but you're trying to graduate, you're trying to pass the bar, you're trying to get a job after law school, so you're just like, yeah, can we be done? But 1L though, they scare you. So that was one of the challenges that I faced as a law student. And the practice exams, the exams itself, they were different because the way you take exams in college or high school is very different from the way you take exams in law school, and the way they test you and what the professors are looking for. So for example, I remember when I was going to sit for my first law school exam, I'm trying to see if I can insert picture of when I was a 1L, when I was a 2L, when I was a 3L. I'll see if I can find some photos. And so what was I saying? Yeah, so when I was going to sit for my first law school exam, it was contracts. And I remember I went to the professor's office hours because he told us in class, he said, if you need extra practice, if you need me to look over, something, if you want to answer a past question and you want me to look it over before the exam, let me know. So I took up the opportunity. I looked for a past question. I answered it well. I took it to his office. And he was like, oh, did you write that with your hand? I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I can't read it. Because the grading in law school is anonymous. The professor cannot know whose paper he's grading. We only use exam numbers. So yeah. So he didn't want to read it so he doesn't know my writing before the exam. So he told me to go type it out and bring it back to him. So I went to type out the exact thing I wrote down in the book that I, gave to him, and then I typed it out and I gave it to him and he read it. And I thought I did well. I wrote, I wrote everything, answered this and that, gave examples, blah, blah, blah. I put my all into that practice exam. So I gave it to him to just take a look at it and give me feedback. So I'm ready for the actual exam. And I remember I gave it to him. He read it. And he was like, can I be honest with you? I was like, yeah. He was like, if I'm to grade this right now, I'll give you a C at best. I was like, the shock on my face, I'm sure the shock on my face was something. Because I was just like, I really tried. I thought I did well. He said he was going to give me a C at best. So he explained to me why, he gave me feedback. He gave me advice on what to do and how I can be better for the actual exam. So I actually did well on the exam. I got like a B on the actual exam, but I struggled with some of my other classes. Contracts was actually my favorite, in law school as a 1L. And I was able to do well. In my other classes, I had some C's and all of that. So I was just struggling. Property was not my thing at all. Property was not. So I just struggled with some of the subjects and things like that. But hey, like I said, 2L though, we came for it. 3L, we aced it. But that 1L was a struggle, and for the reasons that I've mentioned here. So pretty much now this is the real gist of the matter, right? Because at the end of your 1L year, so not December is the end of your first semester, and then January you start your second semester up until May, and then you have completed the first year. So at the end of the first year, I think there was a rule in my school. I'm sure they still do too now, but at that time there was a rule in my school that if you had a certain GPA, it meant that your GPA was weak and you would have to take certain classes, mandatory classes, to help you not to fail and be kicked out of law school. Yeah. So when I read that, I'm like, oh my God, I wonder what my GPA was going to be, because, I was struggling. I had some personal issues at that time as well. I felt like I was distracted, because of some, things happening, around me. And, the fact that I was not really understanding the material, and I was just so like fearful at that time in law school, like, oh my God, I'm not really understanding this. So there was a lot of things going on. And I remember, they told us that, okay, if you have a certain GPA, you're going to be put in a separate class so that you can get special attention, so that you don't get kicked out of law school, or so that, you don't get kicked out of law school. So I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to be in that class, first of all. Second of all, because if you are put in that class, I think it reflects on your transcript or something like that, or on your GPA, I'm not sure. So anyway, when I got my grade, my GPA after my 1L year, my GPA was slightly above that GPA that if you had, you're pretty much on the verge of failing. So my GPA was slightly above that. I'm like, ooh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. So, yeah, that was very interesting for me. I was just like, oh my God, I was so close. But it taught me different things, right? It taught me that, at the end of the day, don't give up, don't be discouraged. Because even if I was put in that class, so what? Don't give up, don't be discouraged. I could have said, oh my God, I don't think this law school thing is for me. But I knew it was for me. I knew. Deep down in my heart, I knew it was for me. I knew I could do this. I knew I was going to graduate. I knew that, I knew it was going to be great. But I didn't let whatever was going on at that time affect, what I thought I would be or what I thought I could do because of that. So, don't give up, don't be discouraged. Keep the faith. I just knew that, okay, at some point I'm going to get the hang of this. And I did. My 2L year, I did. I remember I took a class that summer. I got a 4.0 in that class. It was corporate law, corporations. I got a 4.0 in that, boosted my GPA. And then, the fall season started, the fall semester started, and then I just, did very well in that as well. So it was perfectly fine from then on. Only that my first year was a struggle. So, keep the faith. Hard work and persistence pays off. Keep going at it. Don't give up. Don't quit. Don't give yourself an excuse as to why you shouldn't move forward with something. Do what you need to do and focus on your path, focus on your journey, right? Because in law school, you're going to hear people talking about how they aced this, they aced that, they got an internship in this, they got an internship in that. Focus on your journey, face your own books, trust your path, trust your process, keep the faith, know that, good things are going to come to you, work hard and you'll be fine. So that's just what I wanted to share for this video, that at a quarter to shame, literally God showed up. Quarter to shame, God showed up for me. And, there's a quote on success that I wanted to, mention in this video. It says, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. The courage to continue, the courage to face another day, the courage to just keep on keeping on. That's what matters. That's what matters. So yeah, it was a struggle, but hey, look at me today. I did well. I graduated, passed the bar. All is well. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to share for this video. I hope someone is encouraged by this. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.